Power to the truth. This is Margo. This is Sunday, May 19th, 2019, 6:02 p.m. Pacific Time, United States of America. So this is just going to be an update on what's going on at Oroville. There's new information or new videos coming out. The Cahills, Scott and Lisa Cahill, who are damn experts and know all about Oroville, released a couple of videos today. And I've also been listening to some old interviews that Scott did when the repairs were taking place, and it's good to listen to old interviews and old videos because we're about to have we're in the throes of a similar situation as what happened in 2017, and we still don't know if the gates have been fixed and if all of the repairs have been made up to specs, because the information is being guarded. Anyway, I've talked about this in other videos. What we're looking at here, this is the newly reconstructed spillway at the Oroville Dam. This is the live cam from the top of the spillway at Oroville. This is the spillway here. And like the gates are right down here, and then the water releases and goes down the spillway. And these are the sides of this spillway. Here's actually a different shot of it. This is the top of the spillway. This is the road that goes across the top of the spillway. The gates are underneath this road. And this cam is on 24/7. And these are sandbags. This line going across and this line going across, those are sandbags that they put out to divert whatever water is coming through the gates to one side of the spillway, so that they can be inspecting or working or doing whatever they're doing. This view is the side of the emergency spillway. Now here's the gates. This is the front part of the gates. That's what they look like. There are 8 gates. It's a huge operation. I've been learning about all of this. I'm way more involved in this than I ever wanted to be. But I'm here, and we can see that there's water on the spillway. We can see it's been raining. These are water spots on the front of the camera. You can see the clouds in the distance. You can see the mountains, and when it turns, when we get a different view, you're going to be able to see the dark clouds of the storm. Right now the sun is out there. Earlier today they were having heavy rain in Oroville. Now the birds are out. You can see the birds flying around. Here's a bird sitting on a handrail. Here's another little birdie there. Okay. When it was changing shots, you could see the heavy clouds over, just looming over. And it looks like rain is still falling. We can still see some raindrops coming down. So anybody can go and look at this and see what's going on. But the workers have left. We don't see any people out there anymore. They all left. I don't know if they just took off for the weekend. They've been working during the weekend and at night and everything, but the equipment's gone and the workers have left. as of last night. So I don't know if that's a good sign or not. There's this video now, and we can come back to this. One way you can find what's going on with the levels is go to OrovilleDamWatch.com. This is the Oroville Dam Watch group. This is the group that received the court injunction to keep them from taking pictures and reporting live from what was going on there. But they have their website up and are showing the inflows and the outflows, the levels, current lake level, and distance from the top of the emergency spillway. And they've got it at alert level yellow. If you want, they've got a link here to the live cams. If you want to watch them online with their group, they've got a chat room in there on YouTube. You can click there. Here are the California live cams for the different views. Here's the spillway at the bottom. You could go there and see what's going on. But I've clicked on spillway top. That's how I got there. You can also, here are some other YouTube channels that are reporting as well. I'm not the main one, but I'm showing weather every day and levels. Here are levels you can look at here. Here's link to some of their videos, and you can go to their YouTube channel and see what's going on. Here's news. Here's the weather system, current weather with the satellite. And this is the next system coming in, so they're not out of the woods yet. And if you want to contact them, you just can contact them right there. But this is an easy way to just do a quick check if you want to see what's going on. Hang on, I forgot to get my California information up. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. So here we are on the California DWR website, showing this is the real-time hourly data of the inflows and the outflows. The 6 o'clock data that's just now coming in. This is 6 p.m. Pacific time, and we can see that the level of the lake is 891 feet right now. Now the top of the emergency spillway is 901, so we're 10 feet away from the top of the emergency spillway. And apparently, so far as anybody can tell, we don't know if they're going to try to use the main spillway or not. There's no way to know because they're not saying. Here's the inflows, what they've been today. They've been around 12,000. Here's at noon, it was at 13,209 CFS, or cubic feet per second, and the outflows have been around 11,500 CFS. And here we can see that the rain, that this is rain in inches. We can see that that is coming in, and in the last hour it's up to 44.98 rain in inches. So there is some speculation as to whether or not this data is correct, but this is what we have to work with. So it's high. It's very high. and when people are talking about should they leave, should they stay, at what point should they leave, it's up to you when to leave. Now, here's a video I was just listening to. This is an interview that Scott Cahill did with Chris Martinson. And this interview was done back in August of 2017. But and Chris was asking him, at what point should people leave? And I'm just going to play a little bit of the interview and you can hear. So this might give you a little bit of insight. Remember, Scott Cahill is an expert and he knows about the what went on with the failure in 2017 because he investigated it. And so here we go.
Oh, of course. Now let's talk about the people who have the most right, the people living downstream. What sort of preparations should they take, or would you personally live downstream, or what would we be communicating to people who are potentially in the flood wall if this thing did give way? How alarmed should they be by that D- at this point, and what should they be doing?
Sure, that's a good question. I want not to be an alarmist, but if my own opinion of how I would handle it, I would not be concerned at these lake levels, but if the lake went up again to the upper 800s, the top of that emergency spillway is at an elevation of 900 feet above sea level. If the elevation got up into the 800s, let's say 850, I would start getting quite concerned. At the point when the elevation is nearing 900, it will be too late to pack the car and get out of Dodge. So if I saw that the lake was being allowed to fill to those upper levels again, my personal feeling would be that I would evacuate, regardless of what anyone told me. But it is, it's not my place to tell people that, but that is what I would do, for sure.
Okay, you heard it. You heard it from an expert. He said that if the lake levels got up towards 900, the high 800s, which is where we've been, we're at 891 now, and he said it's too late. Once it gets up there close to the top, it's too late. You need to get out if you're planning on leaving. Because once that water starts going over the emergency spillway, the dam could fail, he says, within minutes. So you really need to listen to some of these old interviews and videos from the experts. And Scott Cahill is an expert, and he's an engineer. I mean, not an engineer. He's a contractor. He repairs dams that are broken, and knows all about this. This is his business. And so he was addressing the issue in this interview as well as to the people who are in charge. He says they're not taking things seriously and not telling people the truth and not coming forward with correct information, and or acting irresponsibly, basically. But that's what he says in this interview from August 20th, 2017. And the people deserve to know the truth rather than just a bunch of placation or making you feel stupid for asking questions and wanting to know. And so, it all comes down to you have to make your own decision. And this is what I've been saying. You have to listen within, trust your own feelings, trust your own gut instinct, and if you feel like it's the time for you to leave, then you can leave. But my feelings are too that we're all going to die pretty soon with the way climate change is going, and with the methane, and with also the economic collapse that's in order, and the wars that are coming. And I do believe we are in the end times. And so, if people decide not to leave, I sure hope they get ready to meet their Maker. I sure hope they get their spiritual houses in order, because that's the most important thing. That's the most important preparation you can make at this point. And be okay spiritually with where you're at. And if you need to get right with God and Jesus, now would be a good time, because that's the most important thing. Not material possessions, and not even what happens to your body, not even if you die or not. That's not the most important thing. The most important thing is spiritually where you're at. And that's what I've been telling everybody. So they also put out a couple of videos today. They put out this one. This one came out today, and it's Scott and Lisa Cahill. They are married, and they're talking about what's going on at Oroville. They put it out yesterday. I saw it today. They're talking about the situation at Oroville now, and Scott says the same thing as what I've said. Where are the reports, where are the numbers, where are the figures, but you need to listen to it, watch the video, and there are certain things, certain actions that the people are doing there that are contradictory to making people feel like they can trust the authorities. So there's that one. And then this one.
Hi everyone. There's a lot of conjecture I've heard about whether Oroville Dam is filled up too much too soon.
This is Lisa Cahill talking about, is there too much water too soon? And she did this video today, and it's very good. And one thing I was thinking about, the authorities say, well, we're filling up the lake and we're getting ready for summer and this and that, but they don't realize that in abrupt climate change, you have changing weather patterns, and you have these atmospheric rivers that hang over a place and will just dump water. And we've seen this happen over and over and over again. Here we have NASA Worldview, where here's the system that's hanging out right now, and that's the second one, and here's the next one that's coming in across the Pacific. And when we look at Climate Reanalyzer, oh, that's the wrong one. When we look at Climate Reanalyzer, when we look at the 2-meter temperature anomaly map, now this is the temperatures where they are normally this time of year. And when it's in the blues, then it's colder than it normally would be. And we're seeing that most of the United States is in the blues, and we're seeing this upper Midwest, upper middle part of the whole United States now is in a dark blue, which is 10 degrees cooler than it normally is, and going into the light purple, which is 15 degrees cooler. And we can see all of California is in the blue and going into the dark blue, so it's 5 to 10 degrees cooler than normal. And it's also set up with this crazy jet stream where it's broken apart and loops around and brings this colder air down. And we also have the sea surface temperature, which is warmer than normally, and so when the jet stream comes down and picks up this water out of the ocean that's warmer, it holds it up in the atmosphere and makes the atmospheric river, and so it dumps more. And so the storms, and with abrupt climate change, which I've been really reporting on and studying for over a year now, that with abrupt climate change, what you have is you have inclement weather, you have unusual weather patterns set up. It rains when it normally shouldn't rain. It's droughts when it should be raining, or when we're used to rain. It's the temperatures are off. We can see in the Arctic, in 2-meter temperature anomaly, the whole Arctic is pretty much in the brown, so it's warmer than it should be right now. Canada is warmer, a lot of Canada. Alaska is warmer. A lot of these areas, and Greenland is warmer. Look at Norway and upper part of Russia here. It's just crazy. It's crazy, and so you'll have a lot of flooding. Our seasons will not be normal anymore, and when we get to the point that we can't grow and store grains on a massive scale and distribute them, then that's when everything will start falling apart as a result. And this is as a result of abrupt climate change, and we are in the midst of the 6th mass extinction. And it's not just animals, it's humans and everything going away. And so if you look back, if you're new to my channel and are here because of Oroville, and if you're wanting to learn about abrupt climate change, go back through my videos, and I started reporting on methane and sulfur dioxide and abrupt climate change in April of last year. And I started doing some reporting before that, but I really started in April of last year. And then in December I added to the mix reporting on earthquakes, so I do a daily earthquake report too. And if you would like to support my work, my channel is not monetized. It was never monetized. It will probably never be monetized. But if you'd like to support my work, I have a channel on subscribestar.com. It's called Margo, and for $5 a month you can join us over there, my little growing community over there. The link is in the description below, and I do put up public posts, I put up private posts, and you get an email in your inbox every time I put up a post. And if you'd like to, I can also accept donations over there too, in addition to the $5 a month. So I'm not done though looking at the California weather here. Here is, let's refresh this. This is the National Weather Service out of Sacramento. This is their Twitter page. This is the latest. They got another funnel cloud spotted near Tracy, California at 5:45 p.m. That's not good. Here is a thunderstorm that moved through the Stockton area earlier this afternoon, dropped accumulating hail. The thunderstorm threat will be diminishing over the next 1 to 2 hours. This is Gettysburg behind the Lincoln Center. Look at that. That's all hail all over the ground. So, where I was leading with bringing together abrupt climate change and the Oroville situation, they need to realize that with these atmospheric rivers that are set up, it's kind of reckless to have the lake level that high when you've got these atmospheric rivers coming in and the snowpack still at 60%. So, because there's nowhere for the rain to go, or for once it starts the snow to start melting, there's nowhere for all that to go. When it's a winter wonderland in the Sierra in May. Here's a picture. That's at Yosemite. There you go. Well, Yosemite is further south, but this is an example of what's going on in the Sierras. Here's the Sunday radar from 2:10 p.m. this afternoon. Thunderstorms continue to pop up across the area. Small accumulating hail and heavy rain will be the main threat with any thunderstorms. And so, let's see. Here's Lake Tahoe. Here's Chico. So Oroville is right down here. So it's in an area that's kind of like in between the storms right now. But they'll be getting more. Chip at Truckee. All controls at I-80 have been dropped. Okay, so chain controls have been dropped at Truckee. So if people are wanting to go over the pass, they can go over before nightfall. Here's at 1:20 p.m. Thunderstorms are developing across the valley. Small accumulating hail, heavy rain, frequent lightning, and even a funnel cloud are possible with these storms. Remember, take shelter if a storm forms near you. So that was earlier today, 1:15 today. So there's that. Oh, snow developing at 12 p.m. today. A band of precipitation moving into the foothills and mountains and producing light snowfall down to 3,500 feet. Snow will become heavier at higher elevations at this line. So there's the line. And that's the Sierras. You can see that line. So here's Oroville here. It's on the map and we can see that's in the rain area there. So that was at 11:40 a.m. And it was raining earlier today there. It was raining pretty hard there. I was watching the cam. What's this? Lightning flashes around the place. And so on and so forth. So that's, you can check that out. Then here's the 10-day weather forecast for Oroville. We'll refresh this to get the latest. This is from Weather Underground. Here it is from today. They still have possibility of showers, it looks like. Tomorrow is going to be mostly sunny. And Monday, tomorrow was Monday, mostly sunny. So, they're expecting like a tenth of an or 0.11 inches of rain tomorrow. Thunderstorms on Tuesday, expecting 0.2 inches of rain on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are mostly sunny, and then another round of storms coming in on Saturday with possibility of showers on Saturday and Sunday. So 2 more days of possible rain, and then the following Monday, which will be Memorial Day, the 27th, and the 28th will be sunny or partly cloudy. So they're not out of the woods yet. And on Climate Reanalyzer, you can also go to hourly forecast maps. I've been doing this for everybody. They like this, or people seem to like this. And we can look at precipitation and cloud cover. Okay, here it is. Precipitation and cloud cover. This is for the next 10 days. So we can run this movie. Here comes the next wave. So we can see it's just going to be waves and waves for the next 10 days. So there will be periods where if people are wanting to leave, they will have a chance to leave. But if not, then you just take your chances. But you heard Scott Cahill. You heard what he said. Now let's look at where is it? Total accumulated precipitation. So this is for the next 10 days. Here's that system in the middle of the United States. That's awful. Look at that. And that's where they've had the flooding before. Now here it comes. So the total accumulated, and see, we're talking about the watershed for Oroville. It's not just how much it rains at Oroville, but this whole area above Oroville with the Feather River. This whole area feeds into Lake Oroville, and so it depends on how much that watershed gets as to how much the lake will rise. And how fast. I mean, it depends on how fast it warms up. So according to this, by the end, so the 10-day period will be through the 29th. Uh-oh, I missed it. Wanted to go here. In this area, we've got into the purples range up to 5 inches and anywhere between, looks like around the 3-inch range to me. So there's that. So I want you to hear that again.
If I saw that the lake was being allowed to fill to those upper levels again, my personal feeling would be that I would evacuate, regardless of what anyone told me. But it is, it's not my place to tell people that, but that is what I would do, for sure.
Well,
I would not stay there with that thing flirting with 900. I would have been long gone before that.
So you may or may not know the answer to this, but I'm just wondering, the official statements are, this is safe, we got it under control, it's all good. Insurance companies have different metrics. Is it possible do you think?
All right, so you heard it from the expert, and that's all I can do is bring you information from the experts. And you can make up your own decision, your own mind. So there's the spillway right now. So I'll be praying for everybody. So God bless you. Go in peace and good night.